Hola mi amigos, we are back with the Mario Matter episode number 19 after 1 week off. So I'll explain why last week there was no episode. I'll explain that in a bit. But because of that, we actually have a lot to discuss today. We have double the amount of topics, so that's fun stuff. And I hope that we're all doing well. It is the first episode of 2023. I hope everyone has some goals down. And if you notice, I'm actually not wearing headphones like I normally do. You know, new year, new me. By the way, I don't like when people say that because, I mean, it's a new year. Maybe it's new year changing you, but it's not a new year, new you yet. Like, you can't turn around that quick, you know? It's not a new you. It's a new year with a you that is changing yourself, maybe. Changing yourself, setting goals, setting resolutions, but it's not a new you just yet. So it's not a new year, new me, but the reason why I even bring that up is because I was gonna wear headphones, but it's like something about it, I feel like I can pay attention more to my voice when I do this, and I can hear what's around me. I'm not used to it, and so that's kind of why I'm doing it, to get out of my comfort zone, and I feel like I shouldn't even use headphones anyway. I never like listen to anything, but more so just kind of like get me in the zone, but it never like really got me into a zone, so I'm like, all right, we're not using headphones. It was already kind of hard to start this podcast, because I'm like, is someone listening to me? Is someone gonna walk outside and I can hear them and it throws me off? You know, whatever. I actually, because of the new year, I actually went ahead and bought a 2023 planner. One of my, not goals, not even like a resolution, maybe a resolution, you could call it, is to journal more. I want to write down my thoughts and stuff, and so here's one notebook. Thoughts after I do something, like write about it, write down like YouTube, how to improve, all that kind of stuff. So I ordered a planner, and do you know when like Amazon will like give you those notifications like, it's 9 stops away. It's like 6 stops away. So we're probably gonna have to cut mid-episode because my dogs are gonna bark. So there's that. But I hope everyone has set some good goals. My advice to you, honestly, like, I won't talk too much about me right now, but one of my goals is to hit 300,000 subscribers. And what I would recommend to you is to set a goal or multiple goals that are pretty scary. I mean, I'm not sure because I can't tell you what your goal is, but like, kind of make it high enough to the point where it's like, I don't know if I can actually achieve that. Because what'll happen is, okay, let's say my goal this year is 200,000 subscribers, and I'm already right now I'm at 117, I believe, or 116 or something. That would be like, I don't want to call that easy, but it's like, I believe I will hit 200 this year. So it's like, I could go ahead and do that, take the easy goal, or I can set a more ambitious, more high goal and work harder to try and get that. Because if I set the 200K goal, I might just like be like, okay, I already hit my goal, you know, I'm just going to relax and not go as hard. Whereas if I make a harder goal, I'm going to work a whole lot harder to try to get it. And even if I fail the goal, if I fail, I don't end the year with 300K, I've made more progress than I would have if I set my small goal of 200K. So just some words and some thoughts for you. Set a goal that scares you, whether it be you want to run this many times a week, you want to go to the gym that many times a week, you know, whatever it might be. Set some goals, do the stuff. It could be a new year, new you. You just gotta stay consistent, work hard, and do the stuff. But yeah, first episode of 2023, honestly exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the episodes look like. I actually want to point out one thing. You know, new year, new me. I cleaned my room. You probably couldn't notice, but I mean the desk is a bit just like dusted down, and some clutter is gone. One thing that you might have noticed, and I'm not sure, no one has like brought it up to me, but I noticed in every single episode of mine, so here's one Tom Nook plush, okay? Right there. I had one more. I had a duplicate because someone gifted it to me last Christmas, and it's been sitting on that pillow right here for like every single Mario Matter episode. It's gone now, but if you go back to last episode or like, you know, any of them really, any at all, it's just been sitting there forever and I never moved it, but it's gone now. I cleaned up some things that you, once again, probably would not notice because I mean, I can't even tell you what I cleaned up. I kind of more so just the desk. Like, it still looks pretty much the same, but more so just the desk. I cleared up a whole bunch of clutter, a few new, like, things on here. I got Mario Legos, so I put those guys right there. Just a few things, not much, you probably couldn't tell. January 4th, which is today, so good stuff. And yeah, we're just really thriving through here. All right, so I know that you guys are here for Nintendo news, and we will get to that, and we're about to get to it. I just wanted to come on and talk about that. Now, one other thing before we get to the news. Why was there no episode last week? The reason for that, and you may have seen, because I've been updating you guys on community posts on my YouTube. If you follow my YouTube and you're not listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever, you know, it's audio only. If you follow me on YouTube, I was updating on my community post tab saying that, you know, I'm rebranding the podcast. I need this week off to do it. And so I've been doing it. Now, what you'll notice is this podcast is the same as it always is. So what I've been doing over the past week, I've been reaching out to freelancer. Hey, can you do this for me? Do that for me? You know, all this kind of stuff. Reach out to these people, make this, make that, think about this idea, all these kinds of things. I've spent nearly every extra hour doing this over the past week. And the reason why that's not, you know, being shown off today is because I need a little bit more time. If all goes well, it should be shown off next Wednesday. So that'll be January 11th. So you can look forward to that. Now, when I say I'm rebranding, like, am I overhyping this? I don't think so. Like, don't expect some fireworks to be going off or like money to fall from the sky when the episode starts. But new logo, new intro, new outro, transition, which will make sense later on. Just some things that are gonna change. I'm sure thumbnails will look a little bit different. Nothing too major. Like, no, once again, fireworks are not going off, but like just some small changes here, you know? So that's cool, and I'm very excited for it. Once again, it should be ready next Wednesday for episode number 20, which is a good milestone to like change it. Episode 20, you've learned enough, and you're ready to get back at it and try it again. Now, I actually tried to do this podcast earlier today, and I realized I was so dehydrated, not for any reason, just didn't drink enough water. So I spent the last 2 hours just chugging down. I went in and refilled it earlier, but just chugging down water. I am so much better now. I can talk pretty clear as can be. I have a stutter, but as clear as can be. Anyways, you're here for Nintendo news. I'll stop. You're going to listen. You're going to watch. Eat your popcorn. Well, don't, because 2023, New Year's. Well, I mean, if your thing is eat healthy, then, you know, whatever. And by the way, comment down your goals. And if you want, obviously. And I'm going to come back here, January 1st, 2024, and ask you if you achieve those goals. And if you say no, I'm gonna be very disappointed. If you want to do that. I thought it would be fun. Have someone hold you accountable. Make sure that you hit those goals. And yeah. Anyways, our first topic of the day, or our first segment rather. As you know, if you've been here before, we like to read headlines at the start of the podcast. What this is I'll go through topics that have came up recently, but are not big enough to talk about for more than like 5 minutes. So they're news articles, headlines, and let's go through. We have 3 to go through, and some are speculation, but nonetheless, it's pretty exciting stuff. So let's get to it. So our first headline is a long-awaited game, Sports Story, that is getting a lot of press for some reason. Everyone's covering it. Nintendo's promoting it. All these articles are covering it. I know it's a pretty hyped up game, but like everyone's covering this Sports Story game. It released unexpectedly December 23rd, which was just 2 weeks ago. So that game was all hyped up. It was all fun stuff. And so that game released. It is a sports RPG game. You've got so many sports in there. It's got like Stardew Valley graphics, kind of, and it's a sports game once again, where you can play golf, tennis, fishing, soccer, or football, volleyball, baseball, RC cars. So much to do in that game. And I do like how they went with the Stardew Valley graphics. It does look pretty nice. I thought it would be some like weird third-party game. No, it looks pretty good. And so I believe it's about $15 on the eShop. I've heard good things about it, but I have not yet played it myself. So that might make me buy it eventually, but I'm not convinced as of right now. If you know me, like I don't buy many games right off the bat. Some definitely, but not a whole lot, because I like to see what's everyone's saying, what's the word, do I think I would want it, or, after reading all these reviews, things like that, so I don't always buy it right away. So Sports Story, it seems like a really good game, and I might just buy it in the next few months. But anyways, that is out. If you were looking forward to that game, it was announced a few months ago, and it's finally out now. So there it is. I bring it up because you might not know about it because it released unexpectedly. Just one morning it came out. So there's that. Now, our next headline is a possible Metroid Prime game announcement coming. Might it happen? Let me tell you more. So, a moderator in the subreddit titled Gaming Leaks and Rumors. There's someone in there who tends to leak news right before it is officially announced. So for example, this leaker, who I couldn't find their name, this leaker has good history. They've leaked, that must be my planner. Yes, remember when I said it was 6 stops away? It is now here, so let's cut real quick and we'll come back. So as I was saying, this leaker has good history. They leaked the name of Splatoon 3, which is not a hard name to leak. They leaked the name of WarioWare Get It Together, Tears of the Kingdom, a bunch of different games. They've leaked the official name of that game before it came out. They've done that, and also leaker Jeff Grubb, who accurately predicted the date of the September Direct a few months ago, so that means that we can trust him. He has been claiming that a Metroid Prime game is happening late holiday 2022, now, like it's around this time, and we've got 2 leakers saying this now, and that would make me want to believe this. So you could probably expect a Metroid Prime announcement in the next few months. I'm not sure what the holdup is, but you can definitely expect it. I mean, maybe don't get your hopes up too high, because this is just speculation, but it's like 2 leakers, 1 credible, 1 I don't know, Metroid Prime. It just makes a whole lot of sense. So get excited, but don't get excited. Next, our last headline, but a pretty big one, and a rather sketchy one. So, take this with a grain of salt. But Tears of the Kingdom is apparently the last major Nintendo Switch game. 2 leakers, Christopher Dring and Andy Robinson, say on Twitter that they have sources. And by the way, when they say that they have sources, this could be their next door neighbor or Doug Bowser himself. Like we don't know the actual sources that are telling them this. But anyway, they have sources that say Tears of the Kingdom is the last major game for the Switch. Now you might think, well, Pikmin 4 is coming, and that's probably going to come after Tears of the Kingdom. Their response to that is Pikmin 4 is not a major game seller like Zelda is. But that makes me wonder, like, Pikmin 4 is a pretty big game. That's a pretty big game. It's not going to sell the numbers of Tears of the Kingdom. Do I think it'll sell to over 10 million copies, Pikmin 4? I don't think so. But that's a pretty big game. And so they say that it's not a big selling game like Zelda, but if Zelda is considered a major game, which I think it is, but I think it's bigger than major, if that's considered major, what is bigger? You have Mario Kart that sold better than Breath of the Wild, you have Animal Crossing. There's not much bigger than Zelda. So it's like, how is that major and Pikmin 4 is not major? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. So that's kind of why these guys rub me the wrong way. I mean, not to discredit them, maybe it's true, but I don't know. Like, last major is just maybe the last big bang. Tears of the Kingdom, throw it out there, last big bang of a game, and then we announced the next console. But the fact that Pikmin 4 isn't major, like, come on, Pikmin 4 is pretty big. Not to mention Kirby's Return to Dreamland. That is a port from the Wii, but you can't deny that it's a big game. Take that with a grain of salt. Once again, those last 2 are total speculation. They're not confirmed. They're not totally true yet. So, yeah, take those with a grain of salt. Don't believe it fully. And with that, let's move on to our first news topic of the day. So, guys, we all know Kit and Krista, the Nintendo Minute hosts, right? They hosted a series on the YouTube channel of Nintendo called Nintendo Minute. They would do an episode, I believe, what was weekly? My memory isn't too sharp with that. So Kit and Krista, 2 hosts of this show. Now, back in December 2021, the Nintendo San Francisco office closed, and that's where they would record these episodes. And so because of that, they're not going to move to a whole new office and leave where they are. So the show came to an end. It was shut down last episode. Everything was all done. Now, these episodes have stayed up for the entirety of 2022 until just a few weeks ago. Nintendo privated all of the videos from Nintendo Minute. I believe every single episode is privated. You have no way of watching them unless somebody downloaded them somewhere on some hard drive. Otherwise, they're all privated. Why would they do that? Now, we know Nintendo to private videos when they have something new coming. And I believe Kit actually made that joke. Kit, who was one of the hosts, said like Nintendo Minute 2 or something. I'm going to put it on the screen for those watching on YouTube. But he was like, Nintendo Minute 2. So what they do is they'll private a Nintendo Switch trailer if they have like the OLED coming out. That's what, they will do sometimes to promote the new one and get all the shine that it can get. But I don't see why you would private all these videos if you're not going to make a brand new series with 2 new people. Now, the thing is though, if Nintendo decides to make a new series, just like Nintendo Minute, when I tell you, no one's going to watch that. Unless it's Kit and Krista again. No one's gonna watch that. Who wants to... That's like a TV show kind of like falling through and like shutting down. And then they try to make like a knockoff one with like different actors. No one's watching this. No one wants to watch. Maybe people who have never seen Nintendo Minute before. But no one's gonna watch that. And I kind of get where Nintendo is coming from. Because you have to move on. If you're going to make a new series eventually, like you don't want to have them see how great Nintendo Minute was, and then look at your new series, which is not going to be any better than Nintendo Minute, and you look at the new one, and it's like, oh, it's not as good as Nintendo Minute was. Like, you don't want that. So you have to move on a little bit. But, I mean, it's disappointing news, to say the least. Like, it's very disappointing. So, it's not great stuff, but it's disappointing, and I feel for them. But once again, I see where Nintendo is coming from with that, and I can see why they did it, but it's just a disappointment when it actually happens, and for that, I'm sad, you're sad, we're all pretty sad, but we're all gonna get through it, and hopefully Kit and Krista themselves have a way to actually access all their old episodes, because that is good to keep, like, just on a hard drive stored away. You don't want all those episodes and all those memories just being lost forever, So hopefully they have a way to access them somehow, some way, or if someone has them downloaded to re-upload them, anything like that would be great. But moving on. All right, now we have some rather shocking news of a series that I thought was dead that turns out to be possibly not dead. So to get into this, Sega has put on their website a job listing for a Sonic game that has to do with Olympics. Now, the first thing that comes to your mind, Mario and Sonic Olympic Games 2024, it's happening. It's really happening. I called this series dead so many times just because the numbers have gone down over the years, sales are tanking, and they're not doing as well as they used to, and it seemed like for the last game, the Tokyo one, there was not a whole lot of effort put into it, or it was rushed or something, So I thought it was coming to an end. But they have a job listing for a Sonic Olympic game. Now, it does say the Sonic series, but you have to remember, there was an official Tokyo Olympics game that was made by Sega that released just after the Mario and Sonic Olympic games. So, that was basically a game where it was almost the same thing, but just had humans instead of game characters. It was more of an official game for the Olympics. So they made that. And I bring that up because, is this a job listing for another one of those games, or is it a job listing for the Mario and Sonic game? And here's where that gets even harder. Under the job listing, it says that you need experience with Unreal Engine 4, which is how they make the games, experience in action game development, experience in network games or online games, and here's where it gets hard. Production with knowledge working with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and Windows. If this is a Mario and Sonic game, it is not going anywhere except for Nintendo consoles. Mario is not going to the PS5 or the Xbox. It's staying on Nintendo consoles. So whether they're going to release it on all those consoles or they just want you to have experience with all those consoles, I do not know. Now, if it's a Sonic-only Olympic game, that's possible. But if it has to do with Mario, it cannot leave any Nintendo consoles. It can't. It can't go. Mario, where have you seen Mario on a PS5 or an Xbox? You haven't. This cannot leave the Switch. I don't know why they want you to have experience with PS4, PS5. Maybe it's a whole different game. Maybe Mario's not involved. Maybe it's just Sonic only. Maybe it's the official next Olympic game. Who knows? But that's why this is a rumor. It is a rumor. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2024 it is, right? Yeah, 2024. That could be in development. We have to wait until we hear more news. But that game, that whole series, it really might not be dead. They're making something new. What we do know that is not a rumor is they're looking for somebody to work on a Sonic Olympic game. And you need a pretty good amount of experience. So that's what we do know 100% confirmed. That's what we know. But will it have Mario? Will it be on all the consoles? Is it an official game? We have to wait and see. But if you love that series, it might not be dead just yet. So get excited because something is indeed coming. Now, I mean, speaking of a series that is dead, this series is long gone. It's gone. But it might just be coming back in a way that you never thought possible. It's not Nintendo, but I'm sure that this game hits home to a lot of people, including me, probably including you. Guys, Skylanders might be coming back. Hear me out. This is another rumor. We're starting off with all the rumors here, okay? We have factual stuff later, but here is a Skylanders rumor, and it's not just a rumor. Everyone's covering this. It seems to be a pretty big thing. So, somebody in the Skylanders subreddit claims that they were sent a survey from Activision, which assumably contained questions that hinted at a Skylanders reboot or a Skylanders remake or remaster. And so what I'm actually hearing from all these articles, all these sources, is that this game is going to be on the Switch, PS4, Xbox, those consoles, and it's going to have the first 3 Skylanders games. You do not need any figures to play it, and it's going to release in Q4 of 2023. So that'll be, of course, anywhere from September to the end of the year. That is nuts if that is true. So for those who do not know, the first 3 Skylander games are 1, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, number 2, Skylanders Giants, number 3, Skylanders Swap Force. So those are the 3 that would be included in this remaster collection. Now, is this smart for Activision to do? 100%. I'm gonna buy it right away, and I'm excited for it. You have a series, you have games already made, you don't have to make any more figures, but if you can find a way to make more money off it by re-releasing the games in one collection, and they've made 6 Skylander games, so maybe make a part 2 collection with the last 3, you've got yourself some bank right there for little to no effort. I mean, really, like, that's honestly pretty smart. I'm going to buy the game. It shouldn't be more than like $40 because, you know, people already have this game. There's no way that it's worth $60, although I'm still going to pay it if it is. No, it shouldn't be worth that much. But if this ends up being true, this is a dream come true, really. Like, who would have thought Skylanders would actually come back? Like, it's not a brand new game. But who would have thought that we'd ever see it again? Who would have thought? I would not have thought. I'll tell you that much. I thought it was dead, gone, and buried away forever. But it might just be back. I cannot wait for that. And if it's not actually true, boo-hoo. I'm going to be so upset. But, you know, whatever. All right, guys. You will be very proud of me here. You will all be very proud, okay? If you've been here for the last few episodes, I have been contemplating on buying the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. I've been saying how I don't want to buy it yet. I have to see if it gets any better with the courses. It's $25. I don't want to spend that right now. And I've been kind of doing that for the past few episodes. Now, what you'll be proud of me for is I went ahead and I bought it. I bought the DLC, guys. I bought it. Could I tell you how it is? How good it is? No, I can't yet because I've been busy doing the podcast and making the video. I have not sat down and played it yet. I played one course. It was Merry Mountain. But, I mean, otherwise, I've not gotten to jump into the whole DLC thing yet. So I couldn't give you a full-on review but I can tell you that I did buy it, and it does feel good to have it. Like, this feels really good because now I can actually be excited if they release a new wave. Otherwise, I would just talk about it on here and not actually get to experience it. But now that I have the DLC for a nice price of $24.99, I can actually enjoy it. We can all talk about it together. We can talk about our favorite course. We can do all this kind of fun stuff, you know? So I have it now. I actually bought it Christmas Eve because I wanted to play Merry Mountain, and I was like, okay, if I don't play Merry Mountain on Christmas Eve, I have to wait until next Christmas season to play it again, rightfully anyway. And so I was like, okay, it's now or never. You're probably going to regret it if you don't buy it right now. So I went ahead and I got it. And it's such a good feeling just knowing that you're not missing out anymore. It is such a good feeling. But yeah, I'm excited. I bought that, and I'm going to try to dive into all the courses maybe this week, next week, whenever I get a chance. But once I do that, I will let you all know what my favorite course is and what I think of the entire DLC. Now, speaking of Mario, I'm so sorry, guys, but we just have a few more rumors here. Like, what has Nintendo announced recently? Nothing. It was Christmas time, man. They've announced nothing. But we have rumors, and this one sounds a lot more believable than the other ones, okay? According to a leaker named Zippo. First off, a little bit on Zippo. Zippo a while ago stated that a Kid Icarus remaster was coming to Nintendo Switch. It didn't happen yet, so we're gonna give Zippo one more chance here before I stop reporting on Zippo. Zippo, who is a Nintendo leaker, claims that a new Mario Bros. Game is releasing in 2023 or 2024. Alongside and promoted with the Mario movie. So where do you start? A brand new Mario Bros. Game? After all this time? All these years? Come on. That's pretty exciting stuff. So the leaks in depth say that the game is releasing in 2023 or 24, as I said. There are 4 playable characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, and it is a 2D game. Now, maybe I shouldn't assume that it's a Mario Bros. Game, but 2D Mario, what do you know 2D Mario for? Mario Bros. So it's pretty safe to assume that. Once again, I shouldn't say Mario Bros, but it's probably Mario Bros. It would only make sense after over 10 years of no new Mario Bros. Game. It would only ever make sense. So you can look forward to that. And even beyond Zippo the leaker, I believe that there will be a Mario Bros. Game releasing after the movie. Because, okay, you have this big movie that you're promoting everywhere, getting all the attention that it can. And you're not going to use this opportunity to release a game next to it. Are you kidding? How would you not do that? And especially if it's a big bang like Mario Bros, how could you miss that opportunity? So, do I believe that a new Mario Bros game is in the works? 100%. I do believe that. Because it's been, as I said, over 10 years since the last one. We got the last one ported to the Switch, being New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But after that, there's nothing new for 2D Mario. Not one thing, man. So I just cannot wait. And when will they announce it? I'm thinking Nintendo's got to announce it at E3 2023. This could not be set up more perfect. You could not write this. You could not write this whole story. Mario movie comes out April. E3 is in June. Everybody would have watched the movie by June. What do? You promote a brand new Mario Bros. Game. You cannot write this. You cannot write this. This is literally a perfect plan. This is the master plan that might have even been set up in April to reveal a new game in June. It is E3, one of the biggest gaming conventions of the year. If Nintendo participates, which they definitely should, how are you going to skip that? You can't. This shouldn't make any sense to you. Think about the reasons that they might want to skip E3 and not promote a brand new Mario game after the entire movie comes out. Think about it. You can't think of a reason. This makes perfect sense. If I could, I would bet money. I would confidently bet money on Nintendo revealing a brand new Mario Bros. Game at E3 2023. I would bet money, or at least announcing it. At least announcement. Not even gameplay, but at least an announcement. I would bet money on. But not confirmed. I hope it happens, but it's we don't ever know. I just feel we saw Detective Pikachu get a game after the movie. Mario movie. comes next. A game after the movie. It would only ever make some sense. Like, okay, come on. You get the idea. Mario game coming soon. I think it's happening for sure. Now, speaking of the Mario movie, a few episodes ago, we showed off some McDonald's toys of the Mario movie characters that are coming to, I believe it was McDonald's in Japan. Now we have the American figures revealed, and they're in McDonald's, available now until January 23rd. So if you're on YouTube, the picture is on the screen of what these toys look like. There's a Mario, a Bowser, a Peach, a Mario, and a Kart, Donkey Kong, Toad, Luigi, and a Luma from Mario Galaxy. Very high quality looking toys for a McDonald's meal. So these are all in your local McDonald's, or they should be anyway. If they're not, you have a weird McDonald's. But these are all there, and you get it with a Happy Meal. Now, that's for America. I know I don't just have viewers in America. I don't have everyone's exact location, but for the UK and France, I've heard, France and Germany, you guys have Mario movie toys, but they are cardboard figures. So they're all cardboard. It's like a flat 2D toy. It's not as cool as the other ones, but I mean, it's definitely still something. So you can go ahead and get those too. They all come with a little Happy Meal. And I mean, honestly, like, I'll be real, as cool as these toys look, they don't make me want to go to McDonald's, ruin my healthy eating habits, and get a Mario toy. Like, it doesn't make me want to do that. If it was like something a little bit better, then maybe, but these just look like, you know, a toy that I'll put back here and then just kind of forget about, you know? So it's like, I probably won't get any. And knowing my luck, if I do go and try to get one, I'm gonna get like the worst one, which would be like, well, I mean, there's no like bad one really, but just not the one that I want. The one that I would want would be the Mario coming out of the pipe or the Luigi. So I would want one of those, but just knowing me, I never get the exact thing that I'm hoping for. So, you know, but yeah, if such a thing does interest you, head over to McDonald's, get a little Happy Meal, and maybe you can even ask the employee, hey, can I have this one? And maybe if they're cool, they'll give it to you. I did that with like Smurf toys back in like, well, my dad did it for me in like 2000, you know, whatever, 10 or something. They had Smurf toys and I wanted one, and I ended up getting that one. So it did work out, but it is very smart for Nintendo to promote this in McDonald's because that's where all the kids are. All the kids want to see the new Mario movie coming out. They're all excited. Very, very smart marketing move from Nintendo or Illumination, whoever that was. Very smart, because I feel like if I was in McDonald's and I was like a 4 to 8 year old, not that it doesn't appeal to people who are older too, but that's kind of like your target. No, I don't know. But younger kids, like if I was a little kid, I saw that in McDonald's, I'm like, yo, that's Mario. He's so cool. I want to watch that. So I would get all excited. I would go get a Happy Meal, get me one of those toys, and patiently wait for the movie to come out. So that's what I would do. I think it's very smart. You couldn't put that anywhere else better than McDonald's. So fair play and hats off to Nintendo and Illumination for that very smart move. It's only a few more months until that movie comes out. So get excited, get prepared, and get your popcorn ready in advance. Call the movie theater. I need a bag of popcorn. Schedule it for this day. Do your thing. But anyways, the movie's coming soon. Go get your McDonald's toys and comment down below if you have any and which one you have. So our next topic is our final topic, but our biggest topic and what you might just be here for. So we have the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom releasing in May. Now, we have had speculation that we might get a special Nintendo Switch OLED to go with the game. And recently there was a leak with pictures of said OLED showing that it might be a real thing. So I apologize to our listeners on Spotify and Apple because on YouTube, I'm showing pictures of the OLED right now. If you want to see it, I encourage you to go to YouTube and check out the podcast because you can see everything for yourself. This thing looks majestic. The dock is beautiful. It has a little bit of a glare on it in these pictures, but it looks really good. The Joy-Cons are awesome. Maybe a little bit much on the left Joy-Con, but I mean, either way, it looks pretty good. And I would call this another success at a special edition Switch from Nintendo. I would call that a success. It looks really good. People are for sure gonna buy that if they see it in stores. And once again, this is a rumor and a leak. It looks very, very legit. It looks really real to me. If it's fake, I'll be shocked. But it's not confirmed, nor is it officially announced. But here's my thinking, okay? Here's what I think. If this is actually what it looks like, and this is real, dude, if you're Nintendo, you announce this right now. You don't let this just sit out into the wild. No pun intended. You don't let this sit out on the internet and have everyone see before you announce it. You cannot do that. Like, you have to announce it now or as soon as possible, because when it actually gets announced, everyone's like, okay, we already saw it. Now, that's the case if it's real. If it's not real, Nintendo's probably just laughing in their office like, ha, they believe that's the Switch? They believe that's what it looks like? Ha ha. Like, that's what they're probably doing right now, if that's not real. But if it's real, you go into the studio, put the Switch on the table, take all kinds of cinematic videos, do all this stuff, get the trailer ready, and you announce it right now. Because imagine this. Think about the day that you found out this exists. It might be right now. Could you imagine Nintendo announced it right after it got leaked? That would be like a hype thing. Like, oh my gosh, that's what it might look like. To, oh my gosh, it's confirmed, that is the Switch. You kind of create a double hype effect. And I don't know why they wouldn't announce it. Like, you see, like, sports news. I watch a lot of UFC, which is like martial arts fights. If a fight gets leaked that they don't want to get leaked, they announce it pretty quick afterwards. Cause like, it's a double bang. It's like, oh my gosh, that might happen, to it's totally happening. Oh my gosh, so exciting. You create a double effect. And I think that that's what Nintendo should be doing right now. They should have announced it already. Now, once again, that is if it's real. If it's not, totally understandable. But I mean, I would definitely go ahead and announce this right now. But up to them, they can reveal the same looking Switch a few months later and people are still gonna buy it. So that's obviously Nintendo's choice, but I mean, to each of their own. Nintendo does their thing, we do ours, we buy their consoles, and we just, you know, have a great time. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? You know, they haven't announced it. They might not announce it. Imagine if the whole thing is fake. There is no Tears of the Kingdom Switch. That'd be pretty upsetting, but I do believe that there will be a Tears of the Kingdom Switch eventually, whether it looks like this or not. I believe that they have to have that because it is such a huge game. But whether it looks like this or not, I do not know. Now, my other question is, how does one get their hands on a Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED? Where was this person and how did they get it? How did they get that? Like, how would they have... The only thing that I can think of, the only thing, is a Nintendo employee. But you know that they'd get fired after this. And that doesn't have... Like, where... Because I cannot tell where this person is that took the pictures. Where would they have... Who owns this? Who has this? Like, it's just... It's hard to believe almost. Like, I'm looking at the pictures, like, the entire background. I cannot tell where the person is or, like, what that looks like. I feel like in this one picture, I can see 2 legs. But that might not even be 2 legs. Like... Who saw this? Where is that? And why do they have their own Switch at the bottom? I don't even know, man. Like, where does one go to take pictures of this? Because I want to go. I want to see if it's real. You know? I don't know how they got their hands on it. Once again, my guess is Nintendo employee. But also, a Nintendo employee would not be playing Pokemon on the bottom, you know, while looking at a Tears of the Kingdom Switch. So... it doesn't make much sense. It's really confusing. And yeah, that is not confirmed to be the final version, but do not be shocked if that gets announced within the next few months. Now, on the topic of Tears of the Kingdom, we have a little bit more news for you. So, on a promotional poster showing Tears of the Kingdom, there is actually a Nintendo Switch Online logo on the poster. Now, we do not know what this is going to mean. Will it mean that you can play multiplayer? Probably not. Does it mean cloud saves? That's probably all it means. But the fact that that logo is on there might mean that there could be some real cool online function. We have to wait and see. But keep in mind, that could just mean that the game can back up to save data cloud because you need online for that. It could mean as little as that, or it could mean as big as multiplayer, do this, hang with friends, you know, whatever the heck. That wouldn't be a Zelda game because it would feel weird if you're hanging out with other Links, but some cool multiplayer function could happen, or as I mentioned, it could be a nothing burger. You can back up your game data, and that's about it. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, one thing that is expected to return to these Zelda games are the use of amiibo. And we can tell this because one, Breath of the Wild had amiibo. You can use it to get food in the game or get a whole bunch of items depending on which amiibo you use. And also, a little bit of news for you. This French retailer has a pre-order listing of almost every Zelda amiibo, showing that it's getting restocked. Nintendo seems to be restocking almost every single Zelda amiibo in the lead up to Tears of the Kingdom. Let me go through that entire list of who is being restocked. It's pretty much everybody. The Guardian, the Bokoblin, the Majora's Mask Link, the Ocarina of Time Link amiibo, the Twilight Princess Link amiibo, the Skyward Sword Link amiibo, the Wind Waker Link, the 8-Bit Link, the Wolf Link, the Rider Link, the Archer Link, the Toon Zelda, Zelda from Super Smash Bros., and Zelda from Breath of the Wild. So, pretty much every single Zelda amiibo is getting restocked. Now, will it just be this French site, or will it be like every store everywhere, Amazon, Best Buy, Target? I don't know. But they're at least getting a few more made, and this French store has it here first. The store is called FNAC, and whether they're lying to us about them coming back, I don't know. We will have to believe it when we see it in more mainstream stores. But no matter what happens, that store is getting more Zelda amiibo, and they're set to ship out February 3rd, 2023. So you can go ahead and pre-order them now. I'll leave a link in the description, but you probably can't because, I mean, I don't think I have any French listeners because it's a whole different language over there. So I'll put it down there in case you can find a way to order it. But I mean, I would wait until it comes to a store near you because they probably will. It makes sense to restock the amiibo before the big release of a Zelda game. So, you know, that would make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, I would definitely hold off. And I mean, that's pretty big though, because Nintendo doesn't restock amiibo too often. And a lot of those amiibo are pretty rare. Like the Skyward Sword Link, that is a very, very rare amiibo. And for that to be restocked is pretty crazy stuff. Even like the 8-Bit Link, Twilight Princess Link, a lot of these amiibo are pretty rare, and they're all coming back, it seems, and I'm excited. I'll probably buy the Skyward Sword Link because I love Skyward Sword, my favorite Zelda game. I mean, Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild are pretty close, but Skyward Sword is my favorite for sure, and so I will probably buy that one. But once again, we don't even know for sure if it's just this store that has some or if they're being restocked everywhere, but I could probably give you a 90% chance that they're being restocked, so be on the lookout, and I'll come back on here and let you know if they are restocked, where to get them, how much they cost, which ones are restocked, all the info there. So, with that being said, it is time to answer your questions. You guys have left me questions to answer on Discord, and I'm going to get to those. So if you want to ask me a question to answer on the podcast, feel free to join the Discord in the description. It'll be there. Head over to the Ask EmSwizzle channel, and you can go ahead and ask me questions, and I will answer them on the podcast. So, our first one being, most overrated mainline Zelda game. Oh, I'm going to get some heat. No matter what game I say, I'm going to get some heat. I'll say Majora's Mask. It's a very great game, but you cannot deny it feels a little bit rushed. It feels a little bit rushed. It could have been a lot greater, but it feels like they didn't want to take their time. It feels like they wanted to get it out. It really just could have overall been a whole lot better. There's not much more I can say. It was great otherwise. I'm not trying to bring it down. It was a phenomenal game before I get any hate. But, I mean, go in and replay that game and tell me it could not have used more time and more effort. Come on. Oh, and by the way, that was asked from that diehard Mario fan. Next, F100 Games asks, have you ever played Angry Birds? I have played Angry Birds, but not in forever. You know, we all had it on our phones back in the day. You sling the bird. But no, I haven't played it in like recent times, like not in the past 2 years. But yes, I have played Angry Birds. Fun game and will always forever be a classic. Next, from Abu Tate, have I ever watched Dragon Ball Z? I've never dipped my toes into any anime before. I don't know, it just never really interested me. I mainly just watch YouTube. I don't watch anime or like a bunch of whole TV shows or movies. I just watch YouTube, honestly. And I have not watched Dragon Ball Z, but I've heard good things about it. My brother watches it. I've heard good things, and you like what you like, but I've never seen it before. So, next, which Smash Bros. Game is overrated to you? Overrated? See, I've only ever played Smash Bros. Brawl, and then all the ones after that. So, I missed Melee. I couldn't really say, to be honest, because they're all really, really good. Brawl was really good. The Wii U one was really good. That one's underrated, really. And then Smash Ultimate is also really good. So, I couldn't really say, because I've never played Melee before. Maybe the 3DS one, if I had to say something, just because it's like, oh yeah, Smash, but it's a pretty poor game, honestly. Like, it's not the best, like, graphically. So I guess maybe the 3DS one, but that's a very hard answer for me, because the 3DS one is not bad for its hardware. Just like, everyone's like, yeah, Smash, and everyone's got it, and like, it's the best thing ever, but it looks terrible. That's what I would have to say, the 3DS one, but once again, it's not even that bad. It's a really, really good game, and a good experience for a handheld console that is not the Switch. So, yeah. Smash Bros. 3DS. And by the way, that was asked by TaskCab. I have to start saying their names before I read the question. All right. JC the Memer asked, did you hear about the rumor that the next mainline Mario game is bringing back the mechanics of Super Mario Bros. 2? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? I have not. Let me research. Okay, so Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad are playable characters in this rumored Mario game, as we talked about earlier. The big Super Mario Bros. 2 rumor is just that Peach is being a playable character ever since Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES. So if Peach turns out to be a playable character in this new Mario Bros. Game, that is going to be really cool. And I believe that is what JC the Memer is referring to. That is what all the articles say here, that Peach is coming back, and that's the first time since Mario Bros. 2. So I've heard about it now, and for those at home that did not know, now you know. Next, a question from Alp Deniz K. I hope I'm saying the name right. Is there a Switch Pro controller with paddles? Now, I assume that you mean like paddles on the back here. So this one does. This is the 8-bit Do Pro controller for the Switch. My only thing is, though, I don't know if these work with the Switch. I believe that this controller works with the computer too, with like Windows. So these might only work for Windows. I don't know if they work for the Switch. So unless I'm wrong, these don't work with the Switch. So to answer your question, I would go on Amazon and search for that, because I'm not too sure if they make those. I can do it for you. Oh yeah, so there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them on Amazon, but they are not official. They are all third party. And I mean, they exist, and I'm sure that some of them are pretty good. So your answer is on Amazon, my friend. I kind of get that though. Like, I have these Binbok Joy-Cons. If you want these have paddles that actually work on the back. These, or buttons rather, not paddles, but these have buttons. These actually work. But they're obviously Joy-Cons. May or may not be what you're looking for. So there you go. There's some on Amazon. I couldn't recommend you a brand. I've never tried them before, but look for one that has good reviews, and I'm sure that you will be all good and enjoy those paddles on the back. Now, next, 2 questions from Abu Tate to end off the podcast. 1, favorite movie. Favorite movie has got to be, when I tell you, I'm not a movie guy, but I've watched maybe 2 movies the entire year, excluding Christmas movies. I mean, even still, I watched Frosty the Snowman this holiday season. Like, I don't have a favorite movie, unfortunately. I couldn't tell you. But the 2 movies that I watched this year were Top Gun Maverick and Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday was probably my favorite one out of those 2, which seems like that wouldn't be the case, but it is. Starring Joe Coy. It made me laugh a lot. So it's PG-13. I would recommend it if you're a laughy guy. But I can never pick my favorite movie. I feel like I know one, but I don't. Like, I can't think of one. Maybe the Mario movie will be my new favorite movie. Maybe after that we'll have a new favorite movie, but let's see if it's even good first, okay? Now, for our final question, we have Abu Tate asking, favorite anime. I have never watched anime in my life. I could not tell you. I'm sorry to not be able to answer both those questions, but like, I guess I'm just not that kind of guy. You know, I can watch a movie. If someone puts on a movie, I can watch, but I'm probably not going to put one on and watch it by myself. You know, like, I'm not that kind of guy. If I'm going in a theater, I'm locked in on the movie. If I'm watching with somebody at home, I'm pretty locked in. If I'm watching by myself, I would rather be doing anything else, anything but watching a movie. I just cannot focus in on it. But with that, that is it for the Mario Matter episode 19. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all those cool things. Comment down below how your 2023 is going so far, your goals, resolutions, if you're comfortable. And if you write those down in the comments, I'm going to come back next year and ask you if you achieved any of those goals, or if you stuck to your resolutions. I'm going to ask all that kind of stuff. And by doing that, I am holding you accountable. You have to reach those goals. And if you don't, I'm going to come back and ask why it didn't happen. So make sure that you stick to your resolutions, achieve your goals, and it's all going to be well. 2023 is going to be a fantastic year. One of the best, honestly. 2022 closed for me kind of poorly, but hopefully 2023 is going to be the best year yet. Thank you to our channel members for helping me create the content that I create. If you want to be a channel member and get some awesome perks, feel free to click the link down below or hit the join button if you're on a computer. And yeah, I appreciate you guys all. I love you all so much. I'll see you guys next Wednesday with a brand new type of Mario Matter, new intro, new outro, whole different vibe. I'll see you all then. In the meantime, take care. Adios.